My roommate announced she was evicting me from our dorm so her boyfriend could move in. The landlord slapped her with reality. My roommate Bianca had been planning this takeover for weeks since her boyfriend Gavin got kicked out of his apartment downtown. Friday afternoon, Bianca walked in with Gavin carrying 2 suitcases and a desktop computer. I talked to housing this morning and got you transferred. You're moving to West Campus and Gavin is taking your contract. They said you need to be out by Sunday. Gavin immediately started connecting his gaming monitor to my power strip and shoving my textbooks off my desk onto the floor. Wait, you can't just do that, I said, but Bianca laughed in my face. I already did. See? She shoved her phone at me showing an official-looking email with the housing logo. My father donates an entire building's worth of money to this school every year. You really think they're going to side with some charity case over me? Pack your stuff and try not to embarrass yourself. The next 2 days were a nightmare. Gavin completely took over my side of the room, ripping down my posters and tossing them in the trash while Bianca watched and laughed. She went through my mini fridge and threw away everything I had, claiming it all smelled disgusting even though half of it was still sealed. Why are you even still here? Bianca snapped on Saturday while eating my granola bars. I told you to be packed by tomorrow. I tried calling the housing office, but it was the weekend and I kept getting sent to their voicemail. Bianca rolled her eyes when she saw me on the phone. Oh my god, you're still trying to fight this? I already told you my dad handles this stuff with one phone call. You're nobody. This school would shut down without families like mine. By Sunday afternoon, I was actually packing my stuff into boxes because I didn't know what else to do. Just then, someone knocked hard enough to rattle the door. I opened it to find Miss Moore, the housing director, standing there with a campus security officer behind her. Her expression was somewhere between confused and absolutely furious as she looked past me at Gavin sprawled on my bed playing video games with his feet on my pillow. Bianca jumped up smiling. Oh, perfect. I wanted to confirm my roommate's transfer went through. She's moving to West Campus and my boyfriend Gavin is approved to take her contract. Ms. Moore's eyebrows shot up. Approved by whom exactly? Bianca pulled out her phone. By housing. I sent over the roommate reassignment form last week. Ms. Moore looked at her like she'd lost her mind. Both residents must agree to changes and all requests go through committee review. It takes 2 to 3 weeks minimum. Bianca's confident smile started cracking around the edges, but she pushed forward anyway. Okay, well, I found a template online and filled it out. What's the big deal? She was leaving anyway, I was just speeding up the process. Ms. Moore pulled out her tablet and started tapping through screens. Both of you signed binding housing contracts in August for the full academic year. You have absolutely zero authority to remove her from this room. She turned to look at Gavin, who had finally stopped playing his game and was starting to look nervous. Young man, are you a registered resident of this building? He shook his head. Then you're in violation of our guest policies. Overnight guests are limited to 3 consecutive nights per month maximum. How long have you been staying in this room? Gavin glanced at Bianca before mumbling, about a week and a half. Ms. Moore's expression went from annoyed to genuinely angry. So you've been illegally living in university housing for over 10 days, and you, she turned back to Bianca, have been trying to force your roommate out using fake housing documents so your boyfriend can move in rent-free? Bianca's voice went high and desperate. I didn't forge anything. I just made a form based on what I thought the process was. Ms. Moore held up her hand to stop Bianca from talking. You are harassing a fellow student and violating guest policies. She pulled out her phone and made a quick call. I need overflow housing immediately for a student being relocated for disciplinary reasons. Ms. Moore ended her call and looked at Bianca with zero sympathy. You're being moved to temporary housing effective immediately while we investigate. Your boyfriend needs to remove all of his belongings within the hour or he'll be charged for trespassing. Gavin started frantically unplugging his computer while Bianca stared in shock. You can't do this. Do you know who my father is? Ms. Moore's voice stayed ice cold. Your parents' donations don't give you the right to illegally evict your roommate or forge housing documents. The security officer supervised while Bianca threw clothes into garbage bags and Gavin loaded his stuff onto a cart. Within 30 minutes they were both gone and I stood alone in my new private dorm.